Hello everyone and welcome to Dimensions of Love. This is an extended reading for the new moon in Gemini. So why I'm doing this extended reading for you guys is because I feel like there is an energy of something more wanting to come through. And of course, when I feel that, I have to give it to you all because you deserve to know, right? So Gemini, manifestation. It is all about manifesting back everything in our reality that we want and that we need. The cards that keep coming up in and we are getting messages from Spirit is the Ten of Wands, the Hierophant, the Death card, Scorpio, and of course Gemini. And they've been messages. That's why I'm doing this extended reading, because there has been messages coming through, connecting those cards to you and the situation at hand. However it resonates in your lives, beautiful souls, as always, use your discernment and take what resonates, okay? This is just an additional extra message to this new moon, because it's the beginning of summer. So let's just begin with so much clarity as we can, because I feel there's an energy of uncertainty and something is not being cleared. I feel like that's the energy. Something is not being cleared. So I hope that I can deliver the message to you all as clearly as possible, just because that energy is in my field now of it not being cleared. So that might also affect the way that I read the cards for you guys. I just want to be honest and say that because it does affect when these things come together at the same time. I can't choose when I'm using this tool of divination, and that's all I want to start with saying. Now just let's get into these cards. I pre-shuffle them and I show you that in the cards there, so you can see in the fast forward section. And as always, there is always extra in the subscription box below for you, informational wise, if you want to know. If you're new here, make sure that you check out the the new moon in Gemini before you look at this video, okay? If you are one of those that are returning, thank you for being here. Or if you've seen the video of the new moon, thank you for being here. So let's just get into these energies. So, Ace of Wands, a beginning, a clarity. How nice. We really need this clarity or epiphany coming through here. And this clarity has been something that you've been longing for to get in this situation, because 5 of Pentacles has been, fives are always difficulties, whether it is a fight within ourselves or an outer conflict. This feels like a conflict within within that is more connected to the earthly planes and the financial. This is what this card represents. But I feel like here it is representing of overgiven in a situation where you've overgiven your finances to a different outpouring. As I get this image of giving it, knowing that this will benefit, and at the long run it didn't benefit because something happened when this tower struck here. The tower struck to show you that there's something that you don't want to see. You don't want to see it in this situation. That's why the Ace of Swords feels very very good to be here. Please bear with me. I'm going to try to go through these cards in this manner, just so that we can clarify it, because it's a lot happening here, okay? Because in the new moon, we went from one pile of what you're leaving behind to the new pile of where you're moving towards, right? So the energies are branching out in the same way here, is that in the recent past, this have been connected. You have wanted to, or there's an energy of wanting some clarity around this situation, of this inpouring, okay? Because again, in the middle and in the center of the reading, we got 10 of Pentacles, and in that first reading, we also got 10 of Pentacles. So this is confirming that at the end, this is a positive and it is a builder. So it is an ending of something that was old, because I have to say it here right away that Virgo is involved here. I don't know if you're going to meet a Virgo, or there's some of you that has Virgo in your charts, but there's definitely a completion here of this material. It's a realization that you've learned so much about that it has nothing to do with that money is bad. It's about the investment and how the monies are used. So I feel like you are using your discernment very much so differently when it comes to, or your way of dealing with money. It's very different from what it used to be, because you understand that family, relationships, all of that is so much more fulfilling than just having a lot. And this is because you came out of this place. You came out of this place of having in your subconscious of not having enough. Maybe you were raised with you're the only one that wanted to do something with yourself. You didn't want to be in this poverty mindset, and you kind of always wanted to push forward and not be there. But you're learning on the way here, because a tower strikes and you're investing in someone or something, and it just doesn't become beneficial. And there's an epiphany of, wow, something can be just taken away in an instant of a second. How can it then be so worth it? Because I gave so much in the situation. Okay, there's a lot of investment, but nothing came back. And you see how she has her back turned, so she's facing like this away from the tower. So this is a message for someone. You don't want to see something. You don't want to see something. I feel like it's tied into relationship wise. There's a tower that you need to see. You need to see something. So maybe it's this investment that you put so much effort into, and you haven't gained anything back, and that's why you turn around. It's kind of difficult to know that you invested so much energy into something, and money and time wise, and it hasn't given anything back to you. So I feel like that is why her back is turned from some of you. But for others of you, I really want to focus on this the row in the middle, because that is the most important energy that will bridge these two together here, energy wise. So we had the death card of transformation, and again here I feel like it's reconnecting to this tower card here, that we need to let go. We need to let go a few things in order for new energy to enter. So if we keep holding on, or whatever it is, whatever it could be, even if it's this success we're holding on, okay, we have stable ground here. We've achieved something. We have a title, whatever it is, and we're kind of holding on to it, because what is then? I'm not going to have anything. Well, if you're strong, like here, going inwards, following your light, following your soul, because I feel like it is a manifestation, because we had the 10 of Wands in the first reading there, talking about these burdens that needs to be released, and that will be released. And this is here again. You're working with, when it is the 10 of Wands, and it was the Hierophant. So you're leaving kind of structures of the society, and you are kind of changing everything. And the Hermit is that you start to look inwardly, okay? Because we had the 10, in the first row, we had the 10 of Wands in upright, and in the second row, for the future energy, we had it in reverse, which is basically saying here that you are going to let go of those burdens, because you're understanding that, really, to put it like this, in this tangible world, when we are working with spiritual thing as the hermit is, because he's looking inwardly, he's all by himself up in the mountain, walking with this lamp and symbolizing his soul here. He's kind of looking inwardly for the answer. He's not waiting for anyone else to bring him that answer. He's listening to his higher self to guide him forward, okay? And that's how he's trusting, okay? The same way with Ten of Wands, those burdens will be, all of this success that has been accumulated until now is very fruitful, but you're learning something in this process. The same way with the Five of Pentacles here, that you've learned on this process that financial stability is not really something stable. What is stable is the connection to yourself. So I feel very spiritually that you're entering from this with your Ten of Wands, that you are kind of leaving behind these trying to materialize constantly and manifest, because manifestation is very good when we have it, but we have the Lovers card in reverse here. So it's kind of saying, it's not negative that you're not manifesting now. You are manifesting, but you've learned that to ground. If we look at that card, I don't have it right here, but you can pause and look through that Ten of Wands in the video. There's this guy, he's just holding these sticks, and they're so they look to be heavy because he's arched forward, but they're not that heavy. It's more that he's trying to ground those sticks, okay, when he's walking forward to the village. So the same way in that image, it's kind of saying to us that those are they don't look heavy because he's arched forward. So if they were heavy, he would be kind of backwards trying to hold them, but he's forward. So it is more of him grounding those sticks into the ground, grounding your spirituality, connecting them to the material plane to create something. And that is so difficult, because in this earth, there is none of that is supported. It's just supported to be more work hard, do it correctly, make it as good as possible, and just keep doing. And it's not enough of being or connecting spiritually or bringing that energy down, okay? Because it's dense. So there's constantly people in the spiritual field, when they're trying to do, they have to constantly ground and pull down, and always have a lot of obstacles being thrown their way. Just as I'm doing these readings, it can be so difficult because I can have energies interfering and making the messages unclear, and that's difficult for a reader to give when those energies are around. But at the same time, when you have worked on this and understand how these energies work, the same way I feel like you've understood too, that you need to kind of pull them down, and you know that you are going to have these obstacles. That is what this Ten of Wands is representing. But you are connecting yourself to your spirituality, to yourself, to your higher self so much now that you understand that money and the spiritual realm, it needs to they need to go together. Everything needs to go together, and it needs to flow naturally. Because when we are trying to hold something on, we're going against nature. And when we're going against nature, it is like a tumor, okay? A tumor in the body kind of goes away from the body. I don't know why I'm using this analogy right now, but maybe that's for someone of you. If you know someone that has it or has had it, it's coming like that, the message. But it's like a tumor. When a tumor grows, it is deciding that I don't want to go as the nature wants me to go. I want to go my own way. And I mean, it becomes very vicious and very attacking to everything else. And at the end, it needs to be cut out. Okay? So the same way in universe, when we decide that we don't want to go with the flow, we don't want to go with nature, with everything. We just want our goals to be like that. And then it becomes like a tumor as an energy, which is not good. So just going with the flow. And I feel like there is an understanding of knowing that it can be pushed, even though if it's something that is for, that the purpose is for the good. We really never know what the purpose good means. Because if someone needs to go through something that's difficult, and we're trying to make it easier on them, we're kind of going against nature. So the same way, this card is saying that you've learned so many lessons of this Ten of Wands in this new moon, that you're entering in this new energy, and you are constantly going inwardly to be in touch with yourself, to not be in this outside world constantly, that you are connecting to yourself, to make sure that you're doing the correct, that you're taking the right actions. So the Lover is in reverse here, connecting to the Cancer. So we have Cancer, Virgo, strong here, and Gemini. But we are Gemini as a sign. So I don't know if the person has the sign on their charts, or if this energy is just showing us that we have Gemini because we are in Gemini in this new moon, right? But this connection is, see, the highest priestess here is in reverse. There's something that's not clear, okay? There is a relationship involving a Cancer here. A motherly, a lovingly energy is here present. That is wonderful. But the highest priestess here also, we got Pisces, and we have strong Cancer here also. So there's strong Cancer here, but the highest priestess is in reverse. Now, when the highest priestess is in reverse, there's something that is not clear. Exactly what I was feeling with this whole reading and the energy. But there's something that's not clear here, okay? And it is a communication between two people here. There's a communication happening for some of you here with these two people. They're too much ego clashing, and this miscommunication is causing a lot of misunderstanding from both sides, which makes it difficult, involving this Cancer here, because there's very strong Cancer here. Cancer, Virgo, Gemini. But what I'm being drawn to here is, look how the Cancer card is looking at the Four of Pentacles. So Four of Pentacles is grounding. The original image is man sitting down, and he's having one foot in every pentacle, and he's holding on to one, and one over his head, right? So, but this card, she's holding on her purse. So what she's learned here when she turns her back is that I gave so much without anything in return, and it was so disappointing, but it was something that she didn't see. And now she's looking at they're kind of looking at each other like that. And I feel like the Cancer card here is saying that, do you remember? They're kind of looking at each other, reminding each other that it is so important to be grounded and to be balanced with the giving. And she's holding on to it like, I got this. I'm holding on to it. I'm not giving away. I've learned my lessons when things have been taken away from me completely, which has happened in the past, where you've had something and everything was just taken away. This is a message coming in for someone. Something was taken away from you in the past, like very, very abruptly, something that belonged to you. They took everything. It could be financial, it can be in the spiritual realm, but they took a lot from you, okay? And something as an inheritance, a sum of money, I don't know, it can range from $1 to $100 to $1,000, okay? The range of how much it is, I can't give you that answer, to be honest. But I feel like there is something that is going to be given back to you as a result of this, okay? So this worrying that you're having, don't worry about it, because you're going to, I feel like this message there is that you're going to get it back. But the way that she's looking at the Four of Pentacles, I feel like they have this communication. She's holding the purse, she's holding the emotions. So she's like, I'm not going to be emotionally manipulated into giving away, okay? So she's learned here, this Cancer has learned that I will not get emotionally manipulated of giving away, okay? So, and it's always beautiful if we give away something, we just give away without expecting it back. That is good. You should always give without expecting anything back, because then we're being right in the ego of, I give something to you, you give something back to me. Then it's not really a giving. then it's a service to get something back, okay? And you've learned that. I feel like lessons has been learned here, that you've learned how to manage your income, but also to manage to ground yourself, to not float away too much, that you're being grounded here. Because when we're in the spiritual and we're in the physical, it can be very difficult, okay? Because we're being drawn to in the physical by the world, okay? The world pulls us down. We want to float away, we want to go somewhere, and the world pulls us down. Hey, don't you go over there. Stay over here with us. Stay here. Don't be so weird, and they will pull us down. So to be this spiritual, and that's good from time to time, because when we are too spiritual, we can just float away in our ecstasy and just be somewhere else, and then we don't see these tower moments happening here. So we have to see this energy kind of complementing each other, because they are teaching you how to not float away too much, but not be too grounded that your spirituality becomes neglected, okay? But I feel like there's a balance here. There's an amazing balance here happening, except for this communication here, okay? You need to watch out here, Cancer, Gemini, and also Pisces, because there is something with a miscommunication here, okay? I'm feeling this energy of there is a miscommunication moving forward this summer, that it's not negative, but the miscommunication and the ego clashes creates negativity that is unnecessary, because there is a pureness. I feel a pureness to it. Because I see this, do you see on the cards, there are 3 babies in the picture, like in her chair. It's signifying that she's a mother and she's taking care. But I also feel like this mother energy is taking care of these Pisces and this Gemini and Cancer energy. There's something being like because they're angel babies, I feel like angels are taking care of these energies separately, because they have something good within themselves, but the ego clashes are kind of sabotaging that, between that connection. I hope I can say it as clear as possible, because I really feel like this unclarity and uncertainty is like kind of hovering over. So I don't want to give this message to be unclear. Please use your discernment. And I understand when it is involving this, it has to be quite difficult. But try to look with your heart and understand that most 90% of all conversations and everything that has happened is misunderstanding. Really, it really is that. And when the ego is involved, it just can become this ego clash and this prideness and this stubbornness, which is really destroying everything. Because when we speak clearly from our heart, with our heart, and I've said this before, that everything else clears out so much easier, okay? Because there will be a happy ending, okay? There will be a happy ending. It was difficult, and it has been a difficult journey, but you've learned so much. The most difficult journey gives us the best, becomes the best teachers. Okay, it gives us the best gifts that we can bring to the world. So the Hermit here is signifying that this Virgo, maybe you have Virgo in your placement, or you're connected to a Virgo, but mostly here, what I would say here with what I'm feeling with the Hermit card here is that what's being signified, I'm being drawn to just say that you're really connecting to your inner self. And because it's disconnected, you see in the last row, yeah, thank you, Spirit, the Hierophant was in our first reading, right? And the Hierophant's counterpart, okay, the most powerful couple, we've spoke about this before, is the highest priestess. So she's in reverse. The Hierophant was something of getting out of that relationship. And I feel like it is it's a lot of miscommunication. So something needs to happen, because I feel like regardless of that relationship, if it happens or not, there is a strong connection in that relationship. And it would be a shame that misunderstanding will lead it to not getting the right messages to both, okay? I'm getting this, not the right message. And that would be a shame because they're their counterparts and they can be so powerful together. So I feel like regardless here, I'm not going to say no marriage here or something like that because it is so unclear. But what I really feel here is that this we got those counterparts and then we got the lovers. So there's two. In the Hierophant, there's two. In the highest priesthood, there are two pillars. Okay, so there's just a lot of two connections, whether it's your masculine or your feminine connections. So it is from within, so without. So there's connection of your feminine and your masculine needing to balance itself out, because all of these uncertainty and unclarity are happening because your masculine and your feminine is not balanced, and it is rippling out into everything in relationship, and of course mostly close relationship. So there's something that needs to heal, whether it is inside of you or inside of the others. Okay, take it how it resonates. Because I feel both energies are involved here and a lot of confusion. So I hope that has nothing to do with third parties, but I'm not getting third parties here involvement. It's a lot of involvement. Yeah, it's three here in that sense, but it's not three that it becomes detrimental to this energy, because this energy has been connected many lifetimes. So regardless if it's not going to be a marriage or so, it will still be a friendship that will be very beautiful and beneficial in the long run if it's handled correctly. So it needs to be a work from within, okay, to work on our masculine and our feminine energy, because there needs to be an open channel within ourselves to understand. And that journey might not be so easy all the time to go through. It is a healing, okay? Just as me as a reader here, I might read for you guys and give you this energy, but if I'm not doing the work as meditating and doing my workouts and holding myself accountable, and I feel like this message is coming through, talk your walk. We need to do the same thing, because that's where the energy really is. We really need to integrate those things, that we can't just talk the talk. We also have to walk it. And sometimes it's not easy to talk the talk and walk the walk, okay? Because we have to go through, again, from the Ten of Wands in our last reading, we have to go through these transformational of grounding our spirituality and those ideas to the earth and allowing them to sprout, okay? So that seed can sprout, because in this soil it's very difficult because it's very dry. And the same way as if we look at the earth, the most thing that is being emphasized now is to save the soil, take care of the soil. Why are we seeing this in our reality? Because the same way as is the conditions of the earth, we've created these conditions that are very harsh. So even if you have a seed, if the soil is not correct, the seed will not grow. Okay, so we need to nurture our soil within ourselves, also in the earth, and everything else will mirror back to what we've already healed as a collective within ourselves. So grounding those ideas, you're coming to this completion in this new starting of this new moon and going into this new cycle. But it is releasing what you've learned in the past, to release it completely so that you can have new experiences moving forward. Because if we're holding on, we cannot let go and receive new. Okay, if we're holding on to something, even if it's 1 or 2 penny, it doesn't matter. It's still something in our hands. Our hands need to be empty to be able to receive. Okay, so try to empty out your hands completely and try to stay open here, because it is a miscommunication. So really don't move in a direction now in this new moon into wanting to fix something. More reflect on yourself. What can you do within yourself to make yourself so stable? I'm giving myself an example here. So as a reader, what can I do to give you all the most accurate readings? Well, I can work out. I can make my mental health very good. So I can try to meditate to calm myself down so I can hear the messages clear. So see, there is things tangible that I can do so that these readings are more correct. The same way in your life, you might not, because we're with the manifestation, somebody wants to manifest someone. Let's say you want to manifest a cancer here. You can't manifest if you haven't done the work within yourself. when we do the work within ourselves, automatically Spirit will bring everything in its place. Everything will be where it needs to be, okay? We just need to follow our guidance when Spirit is pushing us to do something, to do it, okay? Otherwise, not to force anyone to enter or to leave, to see everything as a lesson and to learn. Because here it is confusion, so, and here there are lessons. So just try to look at what you really need to release, okay? What pattern is needed to be released here, okay? From the Four of Pentacles here that she's looking away from, this Tower moment, what needs to be released? Even if it's difficult for you to look at this, you need to look at it to completely release it. So stepping into this new moon energy, you are feeling ready and completely mentally clear. The answer is there. It is a new beginning. So I have a lot of beautiful cards here. I want to pull some angel cards here for us to see what we can connect. And when I say us, I always mean the collective and everything, because all is one. So I say us. So just words, take it how it resonates, what resonates mostly with you. I can also say I'm going to pick the cards for the viewer. So really the words resonates how it enters to you. So I'm just using the words that are currently available in the energies. Okay, this one wants to come out. So space clearance. See, negative thoughts and feelings need to be cleared out. And this is the connection here with the Five of the Pentacles here of I'm not worthy of the success. Something is subconsciously that is holding you back, making you do things more difficult than it is, making it something that's supposed to be simple very difficult. And in the outside world, it might look like, why is this person not doing this? It's so easy. But for you, it's kind of difficult, because if we condition ourselves and we have this pattern and we have this program running backwards when it's supposed to move forward, then we're kind of always being stuck. Like the page keeps updating itself and you're never entering, you know, when you're trying to update a page. So you're updating the page, but the page keeps updating, and then it comes back to the same page. So it's not really updated. That is what happens when we are in these negative thoughts and feelings. But when we clear it, and the whole page becomes refreshed, the same way our mind is like that. It's just something will be very, and I'm always being drawn to this third eye. So there will be some clarity coming through your third eye that will be very clear for you. You will understand this very fast. I want to pull here with the highest priestess. Why is she not balanced here in this connection? What is not being understood here? What is this here, Spirit? Okay. Romance and creativity. You see, there is just this nakedness, this pureness. There is pure energy here, okay? I see the stars, so a wish fulfillment. Everyone involved has a beautiful place within themselves. I feel like a lot of egos are involved, but there's a pureness in their hearts. And I'm being drawn to the star because it will be a wish fulfillment for everyone involved. So it is that's good. That is a good sign. And also there is romance and creativity. So all of this will work out. It is positive, but Spirit is not giving me how. It is, there needs to be, yeah. I can't say more. Okay. Let's see here. Let's connect these two cards. Okay. The Tower and Four of Pentacles. Angel, what is the advice here? It's the energy. Ask the universe and angel. Okay, so what it is that you don't see. The Spirit is asking you, ask within yourself, to your higher self. If this is, what is it that I don't see, that I need to see? Please, higher self, what is it that I need to see, that I don't see? It seems to be so clear, but it's not so clear to me. What do I need to see? And just do a prayer. It doesn't have to be so complicated. It can be just asking this question loud or within yourself. or just asking for, just praying for this clarity within yourself, because you're really praying to your higher self, and you're praying to source that is always supporting and loving you. But kind of, if you don't ask, how are you going to receive? We always have to ask. If we want something, we have to ask. Okay, that is how everything works in life. If we want something, we can just stand there and be like, everyone knows that I want it. Yeah, they do, but you still have to ask it. That's the whole point of it. The whole point is this relationship, this connection, that we ask, that we communicate. Hey, is it okay if I do this? That, you know? So just, that is what it is saying to you with this prayer, why you should do these prayers. I picked the card of God of Indulgence and Clarity here at the end. The camera stopped recording. I don't know why. Probably because of this confusion. It is showing in the video too. Like at the end of the messages, you will not get the end of the messages. The end. Kind of like that. But I'm going to go through these cards with you guys. We got the God of Indulgence. So to indulge sometimes, okay? So even though that she's looking at her here with the Pentacles, and she's saying, don't let any past mistakes happen again. This card is saying to us that it is okay to indulge sometimes in life. It is okay. And we kind of got a message of someone going to a place where they've been robbed before, and kind of this energy of, I will never go back to that place. And now someone is asking you, would you come to that place? And you're like, no, I got robbed there. I will never go into that area ever again. And Spirit is kind of saying, it is okay. You don't have to put a stamp on everything like that. It is okay to indulge. Maybe don't take your wallet with you, or the message came through like that. That was for some of you. For others of you, it's kind of saying that don't beat yourself up when you're indulging. Like, I'm doing something wrong, I'm not doing everything perfectly. It is okay. It is okay. Whatever it is that you're indulging in right here, connecting to this Cancer here, it is okay. It is okay. And then we had the final card. It was so beautiful with the Hermit card here. It was such a beautiful ending, saying that all of these confusions, all of this was here for, there was a purpose for them being here, all of those confusion. And this beautiful card of this purity, nakedness, of this purity of your soul will reveal itself, and all had its purpose, okay? So why was you alone, and why do you feel like an outcast, and all of those feelings will become very clear to you, why it had to be like that, and why these uncertainties and unclarities were in you.